Netflix show Stranger Things has taken the world by storm. We are 3 seasons in so far, and every season we get endless discussion online with viewer theories and ideas about the characters, relationships, and direction of the show in general. But in the last few months, speculation has begun online that there won't be a 4th season of so many people's favorite show. Today, we're going to take a close look into why season 4 of Stranger Things may not happen after all. Before we begin with today's video, make sure that you leave us a like by pressing that thumbs up button down below. It really helps the channel. And don't forget to subscribe to keep up to date with all our brand new content. Remember to turn on post notifications to make sure you don't miss any of our latest updates. Stranger Things premiered originally in July 2016. It was an instant hit, and people all over the world couldn't get enough of it. It had tons of things that made it popular, and altogether it gave the show the kind of hype you very rarely see. People love the nostalgia factor, and Stranger Things takes place in the 1980s. So think far less technology, meaning characters have used more old-fashioned ways to communicate, like using walkie-talkies or talking face-to-face. And sometimes characters simply can't get in touch with one another like we can now, leading to tense situations where the viewer knows what's going on, but the characters don't. The 80s vibe too, it's not just for plot devices, it's cool, it's stylish. Everyone wearing vintage clothing, houses decorated in a way you might describe as kitsch, and plenty of those huge round 80s glasses. People always have a tendency to yearn for times gone by, and watching Stranger Things definitely makes you feel like you're smack in the middle of the coolest, most rose-tinted part of the 80s. The 1980s also gave birth to some of the most well-known horror movies of all time. The Changeling, Children of the Corn, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, The Shining, just to name a few. Stranger Things utilizes a lot of stylistic choices that made these movies so memorable, and it adds to its own aesthetic. The visuals and soundtrack of Stranger Things are so very irrefutably 80s and pay homage to Steven Spielberg and John Carpenter in particular. All 3 seasons that we have seen so far have a lot of similarities to Stephen King novels and film adaptations, giving the show that creepy feeling. Every year, the latest Stranger Things season has been released to coincide with the holiday in real life. So the first series was released at the beginning of July, and in the show the characters were celebrating the 4th of July. Seasons 2 and 3 were released in October to line up with Halloween, and the characters in the show celebrated the holiday by dressing up in costumes and going trick-or-treating. This extra level of immersion is another part of Stranger Things magic that makes the show so popular with audiences worldwide. But there have been rumors that the long-awaited season 4 isn't going to happen at all. The rumors first came from a member of the show's own cast, Caleb McLaughlin, who plays Lucas on the hit show. After the 3rd season came out, he did an interview with Entertainment Weekly where he shared his thoughts and feelings on the future of the show. It's all up to the Duffers and the writers if they want to keep going. Maybe they want to stop now. Maybe they don't want to give anyone another season. Maybe they just want to leave you guys hanging like that. Fans that read his interview hoped desperately that he was joking, as he carried on the interview talking about the things he wants his character to learn and experience if a season 4 ends up getting the green light. At the time of the interview, he was clearly very hopeful, but still toyed with the idea that the show might conclude at 3 seasons. Obviously, the online fan base went nuts after reading his thoughts and opinions. Theories and speculation about the future of the show went wild, with everyone having a different opinion they wanted to give. Some fans thought that the show had wrapped up nicely on the group's adventures in Hawkins, and it was a fitting moment for the show to end. 11, Mike and his family were relocating, and the final shots of them driving away in the movie definitely added an element of finality to the closing scenes. If the show's writers wanted to conclude the story here, they certainly could. However, the now famous after credit scene added a little uncertainty into the show's finality. The scene showed a Russian prison, somewhere snowy and secretive. It isn't established properly whether this is a prison or some other kind of secret government facility. It is, however, clearly not the kind of place you want to be stuck in. We see some kind of Russian official, perhaps a prison guard, doctor, or scientist walk through the facility, past some guards, down a lot of stairs to reach a locked and barricaded door. The unknown person says in Russian that they have the American. Who could the American be? Speculation on the internet blew up. Some believed adamantly that it was the original scientist who experimented on 11, while others were desperately crossing their fingers that it was somehow Harbour, not dead after all. Fans were left on a cliffhanger for months, and it still seemed at this point that the show could be concluded, showing the final fates of all the main characters. Even if the answers we were given were not the ones we wanted, they did make sense. And multiple cast members have spoken about how fans could have come to their own conclusions about the fate of their favorite characters. Just because the initial story has ended doesn't mean that fans can speculate about how the characters would have spent the rest of their lives. The show then surprised us all by teasing a very small clip of who the American is, showing that the 4th season is more likely going to go ahead. We didn't have much else to speculate about the other characters, just a shot of the same Russian establishment, looking more and more like a prison. A row of prisoners in chains were hard at work outside performing tasks of manual labor in the snow, and a man lifts his head and we see that it is in fact Detective Hopper. Looks like he's doing a little more than coffee and contemplation though. We don't know the future of the other main characters in the popular show, and if season 4 does end up coming out, we don't know what kind of things they are going to experience together. Is Eleven even going to end up returning to Hawkins? Is she going to discover that her beloved adopted father, Hopper, is still alive? David Harbour, who plays Hopper, has revealed that the script has been written for season 4, and it's his favorite one yet. He says that Hopper undergoes a revival, a rebirth of sorts, after having been through Russian prison and other hardships in his background, which apparently are still unknown, but will be revealed as the show goes on. He has also revealed that he believes the 4th-season script writes a definitive ending to the show, so even if fans are disappointed that the show might end, all the big questions will be answered. At the moment, we're having to do a lot of speculation, as fans and theorists alike have no idea what is coming. David Harbour believes that despite the filming being delayed due to the pandemic, the filming will be finished and all wrapped up at the end of August of this year. There will be obviously a huge amount of post-production to be done to the footage, as the show uses an awful lot of CGI for the monsters and special effects and all the great things with it. This will probably take quite a long time, but it's estimated that the 4th season will be ready to air sometime around the first part of 2022. This gap between seasons is the longest that we've experienced yet, and it's one of the reasons why some fans have believed that season 4 might not happen at all. But fortunately, despite the rumors to the contrary, it looks as though season 4 is actually on track to release around February next year. Obviously, we never know for sure what's going to happen, but we are fairly confident of this. I mean, it does kind of help when some of the show's biggest stars speak out about getting excited for it. Now we are. What do you think about Stranger Things season 4? Do you think it'll be definitely coming out, or do you think they're going to call it a day with season 3? Do you think the characters are going to get the definitive endings they deserve, or will it be left to us to decide their fates? Let us know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thanks for watching today's video. Make sure you leave a like at the bottom of this video if you enjoyed it, and remember to subscribe to the channel. We upload brand new content every day, so remember to turn on notifications so you don't miss any. We'll see you next time. Take care.